So as of 2 hours ago, is it official that the World Health Organization has declared the 2024 MPOX surge? It is now a public health emergency of international concern. They are saying that the entire globe should be on alert for the spread of MPOX. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you what has come out in just the past 2 hours as this announcement has been made today, August the 14th, 2024. I'm going to be sharing with you the United States' response, various nations' responses to this as they are trying to contain this. Now, this is a new variant of the MPOX. This is not the same one that we saw in 2022, which is spread through intimate contact. This one is just through any type of touch. It is spreading and it is deadly, they're saying, to those that are the most vulnerable to falling to this illness, which would be small children, the elderly, those that are immune compromised. This could be deadly. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be sharing with you what it is that they're saying on this, as they're saying it is currently contained to the continent of Africa, but there is great concern that this could spread further, and everybody is saying we do not want to see a repeat of 2020 and have another pandemic, but this time instead of COVID, it being MPOX. They're saying they're trying to get ahead of this. I'm going to be sharing with you what they're doing in forms of vaccinations, getting those over. Massive amounts, hundreds of millions of dollars of funds are starting to pour into Africa to get ahead of this, to stop the spread. So we're going to be seeing, and let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of people saying that they are not feeling like they want to go through this again. Let me know your thoughts. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about masks, vaccinations, preparing for what is coming. I'm going to share with you the latest coming out on this. Now, I shared this with you, I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, as this was starting to spread across the news media outlets. This was starting to get a lot of attention. This new strain of the MPOX that they're saying was in Congo, in Africa, and now it is spreading to various nations. They're saying that there is multiple times more than it was a couple of years ago when we saw an outbreak in 2022. Now they're saying this is more severe, and the fear is that this is going to jump from the continent to others. And I've heard a lot of people say, what about the United States? We've got the southern border, people just pouring in. It's just a matter of time before this hits the U.S. So I'm going to share with you, like I said, what the United States is saying to this, what various nations are. And again, it was just yesterday we saw the CDC of Africa come out and say that it was an emergency for the continent of Africa. We were waiting to see what WHO was going to be saying today, and WHO has come out and said this is globally a concern. This is international concern. It is now an official public health emergency in the year of 2024 for the current outbreak of the MPOX. So I'm going to get you guys caught up on the latest. And like I said, this just came out 2 hours ago. So let's go ahead and share with you what is going on. This article is linked in the description below. In addition to that, all you got to do right now is Google search MPOX. You will see this everywhere coming out from the official World Health Organization. Now, before we dive in, do me a favor. I see we've got 800 people live with me in the room. Please hit that like button for me. Helps spread this out further. We've got 175 likes. If we could get that up, just helps with the YouTube platform, spread the information out. In addition to that, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not hit the subscribe button? Turn on that notification bell. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. Make sure that you're staying subscribed to the channel. Had a lot of people tell me that they have been unsubscribed. Make sure you're staying subscribed. Check on it, because people saying they look, and even though they had hit subscribe the day before, the next day they are unsubscribed. We do not know why. Steve, I like your program, but please stop promoting their baloney, says Lost in Crazyland. Well, Crazyland, let me know in the thoughts. Do you think that this is baloney, or do you think that this is a concern? If you think it's baloney, put a 1. If you think it's a concern, put a 2. But regardless of what you think, I'm just letting you know what's coming out on the news here. And that this could be impacting us. I want to just make sure that people are aware of this. If you think it's baloney, put a 1. If you think that this is a real concern, put a 2. And I'm seeing 1s and 2s pouring in. But again, regardless, if the World Health Organization, the CDC, the United States, like I'm about to share with you, are taking this seriously, there's going to be, we're going to be experiencing repercussions from what they are saying. So I just want to make sure that people are aware of what is taking place. Madison, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Steve. Thanks for the updates. FYI, MPOX is in Ohio news, keeping it on the down low as well. It's in Ohio. News keeping it on the down low, says Madison. Thank you for that, Madison. Yes, I've had a lot of people reaching out to me about MPOX right now. And here's the thing is that a lot of people know it as the monkeypox. And also there was an outbreak in 2022, but it was only through intimate contact. This one is not like that. This is a different one. I think they're calling it Clade 1 variation. And this one they're saying it is just spreading through any type of contact with the skin. And the disease, man, when you see the photos of it, it does not look good. They're saying it is very painful and it can be deadly to children, to the elderly, to the immune compromised. I think that there's been reports floating around, but I think it was from a year ago that you can also have COVID, MPOX, and HIV simultaneously. All of them. There was a guy that had that. That has been circling around social media recently, but I did my research on it. And what I saw from the sources was that actually took place a year ago. So that's not anything new. Now, this strain that's going around right now that the World Health Organization is talking about, this is new. And they are saying that this is a concern because they're saying that this could spread rapidly. It's going significantly faster than what they had anticipated, and it is going much further. And again, I see a lot of people saying that they think that this is fake news, this is baloney, that this is the plandemic or whatever. And you know what? Not saying I agree or disagree. All I do here on the channel is I present you what is going on. I cite all the sources so you can see it for yourself, and then you can go ahead and make the decisions as to what you think about it. But I'm going to share with you what is coming out so you are aware of what is taking place right now. The World Health Organization, the CDC in Africa, and the United States, I'm going to share with you, and various nations are responding to this, and they are saying that this is a global alert, a global concern at this time. So let me go ahead and share with you the latest. Now, as I mentioned, just go ahead and search MPOX right now. It is everywhere. Every news source you can think of is reporting on this right now. Now, this article says that the World Health Organization has declared MPOX a public health emergency of international concern. Cases of the MPOX, previously called the monkeypox, have been surging in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In recent weeks, cases have appeared in nearby African countries, including several that have never reported MPOX cases before. What we're seeing is the tip of the iceberg because of weaknesses in the surveillance system, said Dr. Dimi Ogina, chair of the emergency committee convened by WHO, an infectious disease physician at Niger Delta University in Nigeria. This is something that should concern us all, says WHO's Director General, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Now, WHO has declared 7 public health emergencies in the past, including one for the MPOX back in 2022. Now, the type of MPOX that is circulating is known to be more deadly than the type that swept the globe 2 years ago. Now, on Tuesday, yesterday, the African Center for Disease and Control of Prevention took a similar step, declaring MPOX an emergency. The Africa Center for Disease and Control and Prevention has never done anything like this before. We can no longer be reactive. We need to be proactive and aggressive, said Jean Kaseya, Director General of Africa's CDC. This is a fight for all Africans, and we will fight it together. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has seen children make up the majority of the 14,000 reported cases and 511 deaths so far in 2024. Those numbers roughly match the number of cases reported in all of last year in the country and dwarf the MPOX numbers that were reported back in 2022. The declaration is a wake-up call for the world that an urgent action is going to be needed, said Nicole Lurie, the executive director of the Emergency Preparedness and Response at the Coalition of the Epidemic Preparedness Innovations. So again, they are saying this is a global urgent concern and that action will be required. Now, they said this from their headquarters in Norway in a statement. Now, Dr. Bokhoma Tatienja, assistant professor of medicine at Emory University, called the declaration a crucial step towards enhancing coordination among African countries to address the ongoing MPOX outbreak. Now, here is why it says Africa is so worried. In the last couple of weeks, there have been a new and alarming developments. MPOX has been detected in countries that have never previously identified cases. About 50 confirmed cases and more suspected cases have been reported in Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda, according to the World Health Organization officials. It is with past health emergencies in mind that Africa's CDC is trying to move quickly and garner international support. We were abandoned during COVID times, and today we don't want to be again abandoned. We don't want to be dependent. We are taking appropriate actions, says Kaseya, noting that declaring a public health emergency is a new power given to the agency in 2023 by the African Union. Kaseya says the agency sought input from more than 600 experts, and the scientific committee convened to consider the MPOX situation. Unanimous recommended they have an emergency declaration. Kaseya says that it's particularly concerning that about 70% of the cases in the DRC are children under the age of 18. This one is a major alarm for the entire world, he said. We are losing our youth in Africa. Experts say the higher number of cases and deaths among kids is likely because they don't have protection from the smallpox with a vaccine, which was discontinued after that related virus was eliminated in the 1980s, and because about 40% of the kids in the region are malnourished, making it harder for their bodies to fight off these viruses. Now, here is the United States' response to what is currently unfolding. There's concern about MPOX in the United States as well. The U.S. Center for Disease and Control and Prevention issued a MPOX alert last week. Now, while the risk to the general population of the United States currently remains low, Christina Hudson, senior science advisor at the U.S. CDC, says it's important for clinicians, health departments, and travelers to be aware that there is a spread of the virus in Africa and be vigilant about these symptoms. In addition, last week, the U.S. pledged $424 million to help with what USAID calls an ongoing catastrophe in the DRC, plus an additional $10 million to respond to the MPOX and 50,000 MPOX vaccine doses as well. Now, while Japan, the United States, the European Union, and the manufacturers, they are working on vaccine donations at this time. Africa's CDC says the need far outstrips what's in the pipeline at this time. We need to have vaccines. Today, we are just talking about almost 200,000 doses becoming available. We need at least 10 million doses, says Kaseya. The vaccine is so expensive, we can put it around $100 per dose. There are not so many countries in Africa that can afford the cost of this vaccine. The type of MPOX spreading in the east of the DRC, particularly among those with intimate workers and other adults, and into some of the neighboring countries, is a subtype called Clade IB. Clade is a term used for the MPOX variants. This is a new type of MPOX that has kept scientists on their toes, discovering new information that is both good and bad about this new variant. It's hard for diagnostic tests to pick it up because of the genetic change in this virus, says Hudson of the US CDC. It's also the first time that Clade 1 has been spread through other types of transmissions. However, it also seems less fatal than the original Clade 1 that was circulating in the DRC. The number of people who have passed from this has dropped below 1%. At least that, she says, is a glimmer of good news amongst this new outbreak and concern. So again, you guys, this update coming out 2 hours ago. So 2 hours ago, the World Health Organization declaring this a public health emergency of international concern. They're saying that this is a global alert. And again, I see some people saying that they're very concerned about this. I see other people saying that this is the plandemic that is on the way, a repeat of 2020. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Again, if you think that this is not something to be concerned about, put a 1. If you think it is something to be concerned about at this time, put a 2. And again, this coming out all over the news media outlets. Let's see here. I'm seeing this from The Hill, from CNN, BBC, CBS, Fox News. This is all over the news right now. What is going on with the MPOX and the announcement from the WHO. I'm also seeing the AP News coming out. The New York Times, Politico is on this, NBC News, CBC, USA Today. Here's the official announcement coming out from WHO right here, the World Health Organization. So this is everywhere right now. And all of these, like I said, about 2 hours now, coming out in the past roughly 2 hours since I've been live on this announcement from the World Health Organization. So we're going to be seeing what happens here. I will keep you guys up to date so you know exactly what is taking place with this, and we will see what unfolds. Whatever does, I will keep you guys up to date. Like I said, I've been on this since, I think it was about 5 days ago when we were first starting to see this pop up as a major concern. Yesterday, we saw the CDC in Africa saying that this was an emergency for the continent. And then today, the World Health Organization saying this is a global concern. We're trying to get ahead of this. Nobody wants to see another pandemic again, like we saw 4 years ago. But now this time they're saying potentially with this new variant of the MPOX, which they're saying can be deadly to children and to immune compromised people. But again, whatever comes out, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. Do me a favor. We've got 1,254 people live with me in the room. Please hit the like button. I just need 4 more to get 600. That would be awesome. Also, in addition to that, hit subscribe to stay up to date and additional resources along with all these articles. Actually, I think I only cited one article for you, but all you got to do is search MPOX, linked in the description below. But that is the latest, you guys. I will continue to keep you up to date. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.